Rastavan, and Rakote, who can, at this point, if you want to, be at the mouth of this roaring river.
Yeah, I figure so.
Okay.
Sure.
Unless there's
Easy.
like a Duncan to stop at.
Yeah. Now, I would say that the people kind of tell you that it's better to head towards the central area. So take a little bit of a march if you want to get the best fishing locations. It seems like it's the deepest water are in Clearwater itself,
Sure.
which is what this place is known as colloquially.
Yeah.
So, does that change your plans at all? It would be like 6 hours to get out here.
I don't think so, because we're still pretty close to shelter. It looks like if the map distance is
Yep.
accurate. So
Yep. You see Ebelstadt. You could cross near it without actually having to go in. There's kind of like a diverging path, and looking to your right, you see a pretty well maintained town.
sure.
And then you see Clearwater. Just kind of, though surrounded by plenty of dusty and worn gravestones, the water seems to run pretty blue here, fed as it is by a deep kind of aqueduct that feeds upwards and just constantly kind of keeps this water moving.
All right, great.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is there any like secluded pools of water anywhere, or anything that I think it's not a big connection to this running water?
Yeah, let's make this canon. There's like
Okay.
smaller little pools and things like that, places that are filled with rainwater.
Right. I guess you had an advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Also,
Um,
full disclosure, I have a +3 fishing.
It's kind of his best. It's one of his better stats.
Yeah.
I guess he'll step back and let you do any of that, I suppose. He'll look around at first and just be like, raise his hands that are still covered and go, well, I would hazard a guess that you're probably going to be better at this than I am.
He'll say, he'll kind of look to your gloves and without making it a dig at you for having your hands bound, he'll say, before I learned to sell fish, I learned to catch them. I will provide. And I'm not really sure how this is going to look without the actual supplies to fish.
I would like to think that your fishing skill would allow you to come up with something.
Yeah,
There's a whole town of corpses and goods kind of scattered about. It's not going to be perfect, but you can figure something out. That'd be factored
so,
into your fishing
uh,
role.
often when people are like in survival situations when they fish, so long as you find like a line and something to, you basically need a line, a hook, and then
Yep.
something to wrap the line around.
Yeah.
So he could literally be wrapping the line around like the fat part of his cane. In fact, it's literally designed with a little notch out for his
Oh.
horrible hand to rest in, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little groove that he could just set the line in and wrap it around.
And like try the bolt if you want to spearfish.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a possible use if you want to roll it a +7 against some fish.
I mean, we could if you're good with
I'm going to
that,
tell you
Sean.
that the challenge is 1. So scale is as much as you want, and we can talk about what you actually want from this roll as well.
Yeah, we might want to save the bolt then, because I think already with a 5, even if we crit fail, we're going to succeed.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll save the bolt. But I suppose what I'm looking for is I got to imagine eating rats fucking sucks. So as my short-term career goal of getting off the island, anything that I can do to, I guess, get the most information out of people, I feel like if I had fish to trade with, that might help boost negotiations in terms of, getting things and getting info, but also keeping Rastavan fed. I want to keep this guy healthy. I want to keep his stress cleared.
Okay.
So I'm
yeah, go ahead.
No, basically enough. I guess what I want out of this is enough fish so that I've got something to sell and he's got something to eat.
Okay, so what I would say is what you're gonna do is roll for actual fish.
Okay.
Success with style will get you 2. Success gets you 1.
Okay.
I'll roll those fish out. You'll be able to choose and take what you want. On this aisle only, I'll allow you to trade fish in for an advantage
Okay.
instead to a social roll.
Okay.
That's only because these people are like starving, and this is a rat
Right.
island. Like, otherwise, fish is not so much of a valuable commodity. Like
That
people still need to eat, but this specifically.
that makes total sense, and I think it's generous to even let me do it here.
Eh,
But if
it makes
that's because
sense.
that's not how it functions, then don't bend too much. But
I
that
like the idea of. I mean, it's fishing. It's not like you're going to be using it to fight and shit. I like the social use of that in
right.
this island specifically. So yeah, I would allow it.
Okay. Great.
So challenge is currently a 1.
All right. Uh, Roll20 did that thing where it collapsed my sheet really small even when I double click on it. I love when
Yep.
it does that. Always
Yep.
makes me feel like the resulting roll is going to be great. So this is with a +2. This is using the advantage that we got a nice local fishing spot. Holy fuck.
Yeah, so 2 fish come on your line. So let's see what these are. You get both of these. You get this and this. If they're the same, then we'll change it.
Okay, great.
So
Um,
you can use those fish uh, whenever you would want to, and you can also trade them.
I
And
think what I'll do is I'm going to save the second one to give to Sean. Unless
Okay.
you disagree, Sean. I feel like that one's going to be more useful for you.
yeah, I mean,
And I'll keep
any
the
of them will
first one
be.
to trade into a social advantage.
Okay. Sounds good.
Kane, I want to try to notice for a big fish in one of these smaller ponds.
Okay. Are you going to be trying to catch that fish yourself, or what are you trying to do?
I will if I can find it.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be to create a fishing advantage.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I was gonna just try to notice it myself because I don't assume there's just a giant fish in there, and you can give me a challenge on that, and then we'll see if I can
Yeah.
actually catch it.
Let's see.
Mechanically, that's redundant. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna. No, it's fine. It'll give you a fishing advantage. It's a notice challenge of 1 as this rushing water just kind of flies past your eyes.
Okay.
Try to find something in it.
Dang
Yeah.
it!
You are
Caught
not
my
the.
eye.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. You're not quite the fisher that Rakote is, but kind of narrowing your eyes. You see a few things. None as promising as what you're hoping to find.
Ugh. He'll look over at Rakote being much more successful with his fishing prowess. He'll walk over. Yeah, I never was as much of a fisherman myself. Nice job there.
He'll say, "Surely it will raise your spirits more than bread and rats would."
Oh,
And
most definitely.
he's going to look to your hands and he's going to say, "Your hands. Have you bound them yourself to protect yourself, or has someone else done this to you?"
Oh no. I've been wearing these things for a few years now. I well, I found an island and the people didn't really like what I did on the island, so they slapped me in these.
What is exactly on your hands, Sean? Uh, I guess a description without a role. Like what passively would I glean from looking at it?
It's similar to his mask. It's a kind of it almost looks like a metal that's been infused with like algae. It looks like it's somehow almost like you're looking at a rock, but it's been underwater for ages, but it's got kind of a sheen to it, got kind of like an obsidian glint,
Hmm.
and they're very rough. Um, Again, they look like they've been somewhat melted just like his mask, but not enough to remove them.
Sure. And God, I don't have the best skills to look at anything to to determine it.
What are you trying to do?
What's that?
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I was gonna see if I could understand a way to try to get them off, like to look at what kind of a task that would be, how big or small.
Kane can correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but I assume that would be like either a crafts or a lore. I don't know, either one.
I think definitely crafts, not really lore in the situation. It's pretty technical.
Okay.
Okay.
And in terms of assessing the challenge, like not creating an advantage or anything, I'd set the challenge at let's do a 1 crafts.
A 1 crafts.
Yeah, if that's just to assess it,
All
to
right.
kind of tell you what the final rolls would need to
Let
be.
me at least try that. So Rakote will sort of inspect your mitts there.
Okay.
And fail to understand.
Yes, maybe you're not so familiar with the make of this, but it seems sturdy, especially how worn Rostavan has been. You still see that these are holding strong and are built to retain the heat. That's about it.
Yeah. Rakote will say, Restavan, if I am not the man to remove those from your wrists, I will do everything I can to find who is on this island.
Well, I've been to quite a few people, and they were not convicts, so the likelihood of us finding someone who's able to do so on this island is very doubtful, in my opinion. But hey, you look like you got connections, so.
If not here, wherever it is we go when we leave here. That is my promise to you. And he'll sling his fish over shoulder. He's got him tied to his cane, and I think for the first time he'll walk without it, which makes him hunch forward more grotesquely. But he'll sling the cane with the fish tied to it over shoulder, and probably start making for Eibelstadt.
Okay. As you guys have been fishing, kind of passing the time, you'll see on all of the shores surrounding you various church acolytes kind of passing and looking over. There's not 30 minutes that goes by without you seeing an acolyte, and quite a few times they give you a very careful look, but seemingly satisfied, just kind of leave without approaching you, um, and make no attempt to like interrupt your fishing, of course. But swinging the fish over your shoulder, you are free to make your way towards Evilstadt.
Excellent.
Okay. Perfect. So we will have you guys heading that way. And let's go back to the other group, and then we'll come back to you. All right. So last we left, Crow, you are overlooking Herman, who has yet to notice you.
I finished cutting through the last tendon connecting his head to his body. Rip it off.
No, you have to ask questions first.
Before remembering what I was doing and then looking down at him and going, "Aw, man."
Ah, shoot. Dang it.
Where are they?
You ask questions, then you kill him, Crow. What the fuck?
I tried delicately
Jesus.
to put it back on as if this can be reversed.
But it's backwards. The head's facing the wrong way.
It slides off like it's made of meatloaf.
Oh. Okay.
I will lead us in and announce our presence by just swinging the door and letting it shut behind us.
Okay. And as the door shuts behind you, kind of in a few different corners, you see people also tending to the garden, and 2 kind of armed individuals keeping watch, but they don't make any sudden moves. They assume that you were let here on purpose, with intention, so they all kind of keep to their places. But Herman casts his eyes up, kind of like glazed with sweat, and he's gonna try to empathy, like what's going on, like who you are. He hasn't seen you before, so he's just gonna try to get a read on you. Do you contest it? Okay. Yeah, I mean, he succeeds with style over you currently, so kind of really narrowing his eyes. I'm thinking he gets a bit of the animosity.
Yeah, he would sense that this is a person who is absolutely ready to hurt or kill him at the first inconvenience he presents.
Yeah, he will just say, I'm a man who likes his garden and easy conversation, friend. So why don't you tell me what I've done to deserve a look like that?
Crow just inclines his head and says, "Know that you know where people are. Charlie McKay."
Ah, he'll say, finally kind of standing to his height, which is a kind of diminutive size. He's a bit hunched with age. But understanding a bit more of the situation, he will say, if you're here, then where is Otto?
Uh, Crow is just going to take another step forward and say, "Charlie McKay, where?"
Fine. You've obviously earned your answers, and I won't keep them from you. You'll fully kind of quit the guarding at this point. And face you fully and say, I need some quiet in the garden, please. Out. And everyone besides the kind of two guards in the corner will leave through the door that you entered through.
Pale
Herm-
lady was looking at the garden herself, but kind of like looks up as if people shuffle past and out the door.
Yeah, these people have the kind of practiced look of someone that's knows better than to ask questions. They kind of keep their eyes to the ground and leave out until it's just the three of you and two guards kind of stationed in the back. And he'll say, Charlie McCain, or Charlie, it was Charlie McKay. He will say, Charlie McKay is not a name that has been spoken in over 20 years. Charlie McKay is not someone who wants to be found. So understand that what you're doing is very dangerous. Not that I'm going to stand in your way, mind you. I just want to make sure you fully understand the trouble that you're about to invite upon yourselves.
Crow has heard that answers are on the way, which
Mm-hmm.
means he doesn't have to move or change his expression at all. So he just sits there continuing to sway until the man gets the idea to continue.
Yeah. And if it is Charlie McKay you are looking for, then you will find him in the Tomb of the Forgotten, sitting at the highest chair in the highest room of that cathedral. Charlie's chosen a fine place to rule from and a name befitting that position. Glenn Lawbringer Arno.
Crow's head will tip back in recognition, and then he'll kind of look out the window at the whole of this glorious kingdom of the Isle of Rats.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, "Arno, King."
Yes, some call him that. This is the Isle of the Three Kings, after all.
Crow will consider that, his head still cocked 90 degrees to the side, and then rotate forward and say, "And the other two?"
Well, that would be Laos, of course, who oversees the rat domain. And then our own beloved king, far away beyond the sea, the Siren Sea. Long may he reign, he says very sarcastically.
Yeah, Crow will just stare as that flies past him. And, basically get what he needs. He like jots something down on what looks like a piece of sea-stained parchment that's about to fall apart, but doesn't. Then stuffs it back in his coat in a way that really makes it look like it should come apart, but doesn't. And he is going to rotate in place and walk for the door.
Okay. Herman makes no attempt to say anything more. He knows how dangerous you are and kind of has been surrounded by criminals his whole life, so he allows you to leave. What do you say, Pale Lady?
She will watch Crow abscond, and she'll look at Herman and say, I guess, how long have the gold shirts been here? Is this presence new? Have I run into them before?
How often do you come here? How often have you come here before?
I mean, probably every 20 years.
You always come through the falls, but even then, I'd say you see gold shirt ships kind of cruising overhead, so you know that the gold shirts have been here for a very long time. Basically, ever since this land was overtaken by the current monarch, and has installed it as a prison penal colony. So, over, let's say, 180 years, this place has been occupied by the gold shirts.
All right. Then she'll say, the woman on black horse, who is she?
That's a good way to reveal this. I think I already did, but not to the players yet.
Oh!
You're speaking of the Gravekeeper, Petra Kraus. A stubborn one.
Oh. She must have been a child last time I was here.
And how long ago was that, if I can ask?
Sometime.
Probably seems like that on the water. Lose your sense of things.
Yes, including time.
Don't I know it? Just kind of nod knowingly.
When I leave this place, I will not return for the unforeseen future. I can offer you reprieve, but when I leave, I may not return before it is too late.
He'll look at you flatly and say, if I need to rest, I got a good chair. Wherever you can promise me, he'll just kind of pick one of the flowers. He'll say, this can do you one better.
She'll accept it. And she'll say, I hope I do not see you swimming the oceans of eternity. I will weep for you.
You do what feels right, he says, not quite knowing how to interact with the unknowable thing you are.
Crow is
Smile.
standing at the door like an 8-year-old at the grocery store who feels like he's been there 6 hours while his mom shops like a normal person. His
He just
arms
wants
are
to eat
just
the Snickers.
yeah, his arms are just akimbo, standing in the doorway, wondering what the point of this is.
She'll kind of like lethargically turn over her head and go, "Oh, he grows impatient."
Seems like the type you shouldn't keep waiting.
Yes.
And he will kind of leave it at that.
She'll yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Man. Wow. Just give him some gills.
It's even better because it's League.
That's right.
Oh my god. She'll kind of glide across the floor and she'll have to duck under the doorway as she goes through it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you will see Herman just slowly rotate and start tending his garden as you guys leave, and the people that were beckoned out will return to take care of his garden.
Crow is going to survey the distance. I don't know what our character awareness is of this whole map versus player awareness of the whole map.
I think you're kind of like the exception to the rule. You've been here 3 weeks. You know that to get there, you would arrive just before nightfall if you left today. Or sorry, just this moment.
To which part?
If you were going to the Tomb of the Forgotten, I guess kind of tell me where you're going.
Yeah, Tomb of the Forgotten. I could get there. It took 6 hours from an adjacent territory. Is it that close by, this tomb?
So you are in Ebelstadt. Tomb of the Forgotten is all the way up here. So just relative distance, you came from there to there. I would say about 6 hours still. 6 to 8. Yeah, it'd take you the night. Like you'd get there at about 8, so you'd have 2 hours before night falls completely.
All right. Then he surveys the distance, is impressed with the estimate, and says, "Before nightfall, make it in. Go." And he starts marching.
She'll just fall in behind Crow, and she'll say, "Do you want a rat? I caught 2.
He is a creature that hungers, so I'd like to have him just not eat on screen. I think he'll just look back at it, and you think he's about to say no, and then he just reaches forward and takes it, and pockets it to later cook.
She'll look
Nice.
pleased.
I think we're bonding now.
We bonded.
You think that?
Take this rat.
Eat from it. God.
That'll you picked up the quest item, which will elicit 1 dialogue from him. So he'll take that, and as he's stuffing it away, look you over and say, "Said you weren't hungry."
Oh, for the essence of the dead, I still eat, like any living creature.
Still offered to take the elders.
Yes, it is a mercy, though many do not understand. What comes after death is not favorable to the alternative I can provide.
He looks back towards the homestead and says, what to call it? Crippled, old, meant to die.
Yes, I suspect he will be long gone by the next time I return. If I return.
He studies your face and says, and states as an observation, "Thou carest."
Yes, for the souls of the living and the dead. It is a gift that I pay forward.
Why?
To some, to some it is seen as savage, even brutal. But it was taught to me the secrets of what comes after death. And it is an eternity of swimming forever. It is madness and decay, but stagnancy as well. I can save them from that fate.
If there were music, it would be intensifying upon Crow's face, as again, you only get acting from his eyes, but as you narrate this, there's something changing putting him off balance as he listens, and apparently causes something in him to cut the conversation short. As he finds that he's standing still and immediately turns around and marches for this distant bridge, saying, "No time."
She'll kind of look out over toward the distant horizon, where you get like the glints of water, and she will just kind of follow after.
I feel like this is a pretty good opportunity to switch back to the other group.
No!
Rostam.
You start dialogue again.
Yeah, no, it's too late. It's too late.
Where
I
did
didn't
you
know
grow
it'd be
up,
like
Crow?
this. Didn't know it'd
Who
be
are your
like this out
parents?
here. Wasn't not the same.
Why do you think they call it the Isle of Rats?
So, Isle of Rats, huh?
I spy with my little eyes.
As a
something brown.
pile of rats who have formed themselves to look like a man are walking upright in the distance.
If this were Frontier, that shit would be real. Like, I'm not doing that, but that would be real.
Walking with a really hilarious ragdoll physics kind of jounce to him, like he's a
Walking like Quap.
Like, some of the rats fall up, and then they, like, reconstitute with rats
Yeah.
that push up through the ground.
They fucking circle back and climb
They're, like,
onto
dripping.
the mast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The mesh. As Rastavan and Rakote, you have your haul over your shoulders, and you start approaching Ebelstadt. You see two kind of unique silhouettes start leaving as well. I imagine you're on the path. It's the easiest way forward, and you are about 200 feet away from these people as you continue forward.
So?
That's fine. You can keep moving. I honestly don't need you guys to immediately talk, but like, let's say that, I mean, you see the pale lady. Let's give you that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
probably pass
That's
him
some
up on
context.
his- I don't know if Rakote will stop, but Rosvan probably keeps walking.
They're leaving Ebelstadt.
Yeah, let's say they're just leaving now.
And realistically, how close are we? Like you said, about 200 feet away. Like,
Yeah.
They're already ahead of us, or we're like approaching them?
You're approaching them. You're coming from the north. They're coming from the south.
Okay. Rakote would stop then.
Okay.
He doesn't say anything. He just stops and stares at his feet, having lost all confidence.
Rakote stops, puts one finger up, and goes, "Huh."
He looks to Crow, and recognizing an alpha male, he immediately breaks eye contact. He starts rubbing his elbow, and he kind of like mutters something that sounds sort of tough. And as soon as Crow says, "What's that?" he just backs away and doesn't he doesn't act on it. Before approaching, though, he would look to Rastavan. I'm not trying to immediately meta this because I don't hate the narrative that we miss in passing.
Yes.
But we are on a hunt for the Pale Lady, so I feel like it would be realistic if we see somebody with, say, a sailor with a cruel hook, which is literally what we heard. Granted, I don't know if Declan's character is brandishing that
At all times, almost cartoonishly.
Always.
Because I was gonna say, of all things, I feel like my eyes are less on the Pale Lady and more on Crow, knowing that he is our lead to her.
He has a highball in one hand and the hook in the other. There's not one scene he doesn't have both.
He's
Yeah,
he's doing
an extremely tall Arizona iced tea.
Walking around.
Crow is at all times doing those shadow boxing things you could unlock in Soul Calibur 2, just the demos that the characters would do. He's doing that.
He's
Come
walking
on.
around like the 14th member of Slipknot on stage.
He's the first member.
Crow has a tall boy that is as long as his spear.
Whoa.
Of Guinness.
Holy
shit. The longest boy.
Stores a spear inside of it, actually.
Yeah, the tallest boy.
Dunks it.
He's drinking out of the fucking spear. But yeah, he would seeing. So, I guess like what literally like what this guy looks like he matches the description of like a sailor with a hook. Yeah.
Okay,
Easily,
let me
yes.
make this a little easier.
Yeah.
We see them up ahead, like during fear or whatever you said, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do we? I assume we don't need to notice for that or anything, correct?
No,
He
I
has
just
said it.
wanted this.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, I just wanted to at least give a little bit of a player
Do they
interaction.
see us?
I think so. Like, that's the trade-off. So, I guess I need to be better about this. I don't need to force this. I should ask players what they want to do. Mac and Declan, would you be trying to stealth and get to the tomb stealthily? If so, that's fine. We
Oh,
can
I
keep this
don't.
moving.
I know it's like fun to be realistic and have differences, but after my over inaction caused crude, I am in favor of a little bit of arbitration. I'd like to get the
Sure.
team together, so I'm not going to stealth against them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then in that case, I think you both groups see each other just to get there. And
I
you
am
at least
alright
have an
to give
interaction.
them the possibility to stealth, but they can like catch us
Okay.
going by because we're the.
They're specifically looking for us.
Yeah.
We just came out of somewhere, and honestly, we kind of were being more careful in the city than we are out of the city right now.
Agreed.
Okay.
So I
do
will
you
roll
guys
because
roll
Crow.
stealth?
Yeah, Crow is always surveying for threats.
Yeah.
So there's your challenge, but that otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, Sean, what did you have in mind then? Because if I have something a lot less stealthy in mind, unless you have a plan.
Well,
Hey!
I don't. I feel like nah. You go with what you're gonna go with, because
Okay.
my character, me giving away what he's thinking is a metagame. So I'd rather you just say what you're gonna do.
All right. Well, he will start off then by mentioning to you because we have the ability to talk to each other. He'll just say,
Allegedly.
"That is an odd-looking couple up ahead, Rostavan."
Yeah, they look pretty odd. Maybe we make our way past him.
He'll say, "Suppose this is the one and only chance to suppose this is the one and only chance to catch a glimpse of this sailor with a cruel hook and this pale lady. I don't think it's the wisest decision to let them walk by."
I say it is, and then we just follow them.
He's gonna say, "Would you be quick to anger if you found you were being followed, Rastavan?"
Look, odds are they're coming at us right now. They already see us. Therefore, we don't have the element of surprise. If you want to catch someone like this, you do it on your own terms.
He'll say,
You can't see my mouth move, so.
he'll raise a hand and he's going to say, "I am neither an agile nor a stealthy man." He'll say, because man, it's not a bad idea to like stalk them like unseen, but he'll say, he'll say, I'll be forthright with you, Rastavan. If this is the same man who garnered so much attention last night, I was already interested in meeting him then. Now we can do so without the threat of the gold shirts. The Grave Warden, she has steel, yes, but this island has already shown us, and he'll gesture to the fish. It is riper with other resources than it
Oh,
first may
fine,
appear.
fine. We'll talk to them.
He'll sort of cough out a laugh, and he'll say, I'm wearing you down already. I like this.
People wear me
And,
down very quickly anyway.
And he'll approach already with his hand out, waving to the two of them.
Rastavan stands with his arms at his sides like he's been unrigged. He's just a fucking NPC.
Rastavan loaded in.
Rastavan is the FromSoft character who you interact with in is just 3 periods as his dialogue.
And then his last dialogue is him dying. I don't know why.
He's just dead on the ground.
There's a late game item that explains it, but you
Yeah.
can miss it pretty easily.
You did this, he says.
Yeah, you got the fetid brainstem, and as soon as that entered your inventory, you sealed his fate.
You went fishing session 2? What the fuck?
Oh shit! You locked yourself out of Rastavan.
So they're just approaching us?
Yeah, he's just approaching you with his hand out like the kindly old weird man he is.
This is
The
like
pale
the
lady will,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
she'll turn to Crow and say, friends of yours.
Have not. Which is she's kind of approaching friend level because that's more than he would have responded to anyone. This is like the third kindly stranger that's approached him with good intentions. So he's not going to react with hostility. He will slow his pace a bit to see if he needs to kill and loot these people. But will not actually answer. He'll just treat him just like all of Kane's NPCs, which is to stare daggers.
They both wait there idle for you to say something uncomfortably.
He's going to he'll initiate the conversation, despite how awkward I'm being and taking the time to think about it. Rikode doesn't have that same loading speed. He'll approach, sort of waving off. What time of day is it? Are we like noon?
Yeah,
About
just
1.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Or maybe let's put it at 1. Yeah.
Oh,
let's do
what
that.
about 2? Let's just do 2. You
Okay,
know?
let's put it
Give it
8
a
o'clock. The
3.
sun's setting.
Oh,
One
shit.
45. Rikode waves. He waves out of frame. When his arm comes back into frame, it's covered in rats.
Oh shit.
It's like that. It's like that continuity error in X-Men 3 where they shot one part in the day and then at night, so they just turn and it's nighttime
shit.
now.
Oh, I never seen that.
So when he bends the like Golden Gate Bridge or whatever, he bends the whole bridge, and when he's bending it, it's daytime, and then when it rests, it's night. And they just
my
couldn't
God.
cover it.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
But yeah, so he'll what is weather? Because we're approaching entering small talk with intentions. Punishing sun.
Yeah, let's say punishing sun. Yesterday it rained, so it's just intensified the heat.
Okay. Yes. So he approaches and he'll say, "Travelers, what a welcome sight on such a grueling hot day."
This is already more than anyone else has presented, and Crow has somewhere to be, so he will finally go, "What?"
He's going to look straight at you and he's going to say, "Can't help but notice the reputation you're making for yourself on this island, my friend."
Empathy roll to see if this man means harm. If this is a hunter.
He knocks Rikode off of his feet.
It's just been a threat.
Do I have
Knocks
to
his
deceive?
cane out.
He
Yes.
empathied you. Yeah, I think yes.
Good. God damn it.
Uh-oh. You don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
don't know.
Appears well-meaning. I got it.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
he appears well-meaning. I mean, you feel like you could take him, unless he's got a Gatling gun under that coat.
Oh, yeah. Then Crow will offer his customary response, which is silence.
He'll say, and your friend, the two of you. He'll say, he's just gonna lay all of the cards out on the table, and he'll sort of come in close, and he'll look from side to side like he's looking for other people, but without actually making an earnest check, because this frankly isn't his problem. He'll say, I'm not sure the two of you have heard the news, but you would best to be careful. There is a hunt going on for a pale lady, accompanied by a sailor with a cruel hook.
Yes, I am well aware I am being hunted here.
I'll say,
I've got a question.
Everyone turns their head.
Crow notices Rastavan.
Are the both of you more useful than steel? Well, don't all answer at once.
Restavan, I've made a mistake. They're not more useful than steel. Kill them. Burn them!
I think Crow will do what is accidentally a kindness, and he doesn't know how to answer for himself because that's such a deep philosophical thing, but he'll turn to the pale lady, and for his devices, he'll just look her up and down and say, yes.
The pale lady looks confused.
Rakote will elaborate, and he'll say, even now the Grave Warden gathers men in the streets. They hunt you for a reward. A reward that will likely only go up in value in time, the longer the two of you are at large.
I see. I do not understand why you've presented us with this information. However, I will not be on the island long. They will not need to worry.
And what of your friend here, the sailor with the cruel hook? Will he be on the island long?
He is searching for someone. And when it is complete, he will help me leave this island.
He'll tap his fingernails on his cane, and he'll say, so you've got it all worked out then?
Yes.
Coming and going as you please on the island of rats.
I have done it for many years.
He'll look at you, the creature that you are, himself a wicked creature in kind, and he'll say, I imagine for you it is not a difficult feat, but for your friend, how are you going to leave the Isle of Rats?
He is quite adept with his spear.
He'll clap his hands together and say, I have never seen a man sail atop a spear. You will have to let me know when you leave so that I can witness from the docks.
I thought it was obvious. I can swim.
Yeah, and will he be surfing on your back?
Our arrangement did not... man. Our arrangement only came as far as helping him with his task, so he may help me with mine. He is quite strong. And there are people here hunting me. He is beneficial for my retreat. Though we did not discuss what comes after the island. I assume he will leave.
Well, how about that, pal? How do you plan on leaving?
Crow's steely gaze rotates from Rakote to Rastavan, and after a long silence, he will say, we'll leave when it's time.
Rastavan's going to turn to Rakote, and he's just going to say, like I said, you know how to pick them.
He's going to hold up a hand, and he's going to say, How many men did we witness firing on him last night? And yet here he stands. He walks unscathed. He'll point a finger and he'll say, this woman sees strength in him. Should we not as well? Allow me to introduce you. Allow me to introduce myself, friends. I am Ricote, captain of the Ana Feli. Your ears do not deceive you. I have a grand vessel that permits me travel across these waters. And I would like to share that with you, but I need help leaving this sordid place. So if the two of you, he'll nod and he'll say, so if the two of you have any foresight on how one might begin that process, or at least could help an old sailor like myself and my good friend here stay alive until then, I'd be very grateful. I'm not dead weight. I can provide fish, and I'll say, I imagine you might find that I am better connected than, well, two frightening figures such as yourself.
Crow is going to create advantage by observing Ricote. I would like to use physique to appraise his physical ability.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. I would think that's probably stealth against
I think.
or what would you say?
I think, does the book say exactly? It talks about physique, like it talks about it creating it, but I don't know if it has much of a match. Maybe something like deceive.
Let's see.
Because deceive is like verbal, something like stealth or burglary, like keep yourself hidden. But we could pitch things. Like, what do you guys think? We've all DM'd this game.
You might also use it as a way of discovering physical impairments possessed by the target. Grappling the old mercenary tells you that he has a bum leg or some such.
Oh, okay.
But it's not. I feel like that's an example of like actual physical touch.
Yeah.
There's instances where you can use shoot to like look at a gun. Like it brings up examples of, like looking at shoot and knowing a gun and like knowing like, oh, I know the rate of fire on that, or I know that you know, whatever. So I don't know. I guess it's your call, Kane. If
I also think deceive is not just verbal, because it's
Okay.
like for disguises and stuff. It's the way you carry yourself. It is what you put out.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
So you think deceit against that?
Yeah. No, let's
Yeah,
go ahead and
don't
deceive.
roll higher than me though.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What's that, a plus 4?
That's a plus. Wait. No. Hold on. I rolled that wrong. That matched.
Okay.
That should be a 0. I rolled. I clicked
okay.
an empty box instead of rolling basic. So that as hilarious as that was, that matched.
Yeah.
Still a ridiculously good roll for a flat skill, but I didn't roll a plus 4 and succeed. I fucked that up.
All right, so I will.
So a match would be a boost.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking for like a physical weakness?
Does one of your aspects say it? Talk about your physique.
Let's see. So I do have an aspect about being disfigured.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, that's good.
So I'll give that to you. Oh wow! I hit inspect and holy fuck! I'm in. Fucking hacker voice. Jesus Christ. There you go.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Right.
You advertise all of your stuff, and Crow takes it in. I'm not going to belabor this. Just roll another deceive. This is my empathy to see if you are genuine about.
All right.
I don't think I'm trying to create advantage with it. This is just
just
overcome.
overcome.
I won't cheat this time. There we go. We match again. This is the tennis scene in Death Note.
He's a captain. Maybe he speaks with some authority. Maybe you've heard that ship, but whether or not he has it waiting, I think, is suspect.
Okay. Um,
The pale
So,
lady
yeah.
looks between Rakote and Crow. She seems to be interested in Crow's opinion on the matter,
he,
as per their accord.
as the man is talking, he is assessing his hunched posture, bum leg, his boiled face, and slack jaw, and deems that he would be not even fit for consumption in the wild, which is below prey, but and finds half veracity to his words. So focused on the ship, which is a thing he was only promising before and had no actual leads on, he will look Rakote up and down and sort of double check and say, "Thou havest a ship?"
A proud vessel. The only caveat is it's not here on the Isle of Rats. I need to get from here to my ship. However, anybody who helps me reach my beloved Anaphalie, I permit them access to these waters. I will charter you a course to wherever it is you need to go. You, my friend, and your friend.
"Thy ship, not docked in port."
Nay, not here.
Crow is going to begin to walk away from the man.
He's gonna turn around and he's going to say, "If you kill a captain and steal a ship, you will not make it far from here." So the gold. Let's see. I'm gonna actually try to do this as a provoke, to stop you. Well, great, Rakote. You're amazing. Hey, don't walk away from me! Don't go!
Hey!
Fuck.
Dead fish eyes look at you.
Yeah.
Crying.
Let's...
One is wet, the other is dry.
No, I want to make this succeed. I want him to listen to me. So, I either want to tap. Yeah, I want to tap for better or worse. I make a lasting impression. That whether this is a fucking Crow will remember this moment, or this sits well with him. I want this to succeed on the outcome that this sticks with him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that fits perfectly.
So he'll turn over shoulder and he'll say, "If you kill a captain and steal a ship, you will not make it far from the harbor, just as the gold shirts impede your progress here and the Grave Warden chases you down. They will find your stolen vessel and they will burn it at sea, and you will be back here, not on your own free will, but a prisoner as I am. Will you take your chances with a stolen vessel, or will you help me to mine and have free reign of these seas to do so as you please?"
Crow, having been stopped, will rotate in place and start to walk back toward the man and stand over him and say, "Have vessel in another port. If not here, of what use are thou?"
You said you would take us anywhere. Did you not?
That I did.
Even... What do you call the greater ocean, Kane? Like everything outside of here?
I would just say past the shallows to the seas beyond or
Right.
something. Yeah.
Beyond the shallows? To the seas beyond?
It would take some work, Rakote, you know that much.
Yes. He'll tighten his grip on his cane, and he'll say, he'll say, "You may be thinking of a galleon, my friend, but
I am
perhaps
aware what I am asking.
He'll say, those tides would drag my ship to the bottom of the ocean as it is now. But with time and dedication, perhaps we could outfit my beloved Anna Flee to leave these shores, if that is what you desire."
Should seem to consider this. Something about having a ship at her disposal seems appealing to the Pale Lady. And she will say, "If we will help you from the island, you will do this for us. Correct?"
He'll nod his head and he'll say, "I've already given you my word."
Very well. She'll look over at Crow and say, hey. I don't really. I need the ship. I cannot sail where I need to go. Or, I'm sorry, I cannot swim where I need to go. They are far deeper than the shallows.
Crow is going to toss back. He is cattle.
He will not get in our way. He wants to leave the island, like you.
Crow is going to look over Rakote and again the barely regarded Rastavan. And he's not really the shaking head type, so he'll just feel that internally and then turn around and continue walking away from them, considering them the Pale Lady's pets rather than his charge.
We seek a man whose name I forget constantly.
It's either Charlie McKay or
Charlie
now
McKay.
Arno.
Arno. Okay. We seek a man known as Charlie McKay or Arno.
I need to do a better job. I want to make sure that this is confirmed. Let's do this organically. Rakote, go ahead and roll me contacts.
Okay.
When you hear the name Arno. Challenge. Okay, successful style. Very
Oh,
nice.
wow. Okay.
That name means a bit to you. Maybe
Okay.
more so since you've been heading here and kind of had a few words with your fellow convicts. It is a name that inspires fear and respect concurrently. He is one of the 3 kings of this island. And from what you know, he arrived here roughly 20 years ago, and over the remaining 20, basically instituted a series of laws, the laws for the lawless, which you would have also been privy to. I can reveal those if you don't let me.
Did he arrive as a convict, or?
Yes, he did. For what crimes in particular, you don't know. It doesn't seem like many people do.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a man of high position here. He's basically the leader who tells people what to do and maintains order, because before his arrival, this was just a rat eat rat kind of situation.
Sure.
Plenty of bloodshed, and under his kind of watchful eye, that has been curtailed.
Rakote, his single milky eye peering out from under the wet and barnacle laden brim of his hat. His gaze will finally shift from Crow to you, the Pale Lady. TPL.
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 He'll say, Oh, what business do you have with one of the kings of this island?
Man, I don't remember. Did Crow say what?
We have never discussed it. I just keep saying that I want him, and you're like, that's cool.
And she'll say, "It is not my business, but it is his business." And she'll gesture to Crow. "And we have struck an accord. Do not get in the way of this accord. And you can come with us off the island."
He's gonna look to Rastavan, sort of purse his lips and take a dry swallow, and he's gonna call ahead to you, kind of tapping his cane on the ground, Crow, not satisfied with that answer, and he's gonna say, "What business do you have with one of the three kings of this island?"
Kill.
The worst news you could hear.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of shake his shoulders as he just exhales to himself, and he'll say, "Kill, yes."
Oh, that steel's sounding really good right now.
He's gonna kind of just dismiss that part of the conversation with a tap of his cane and say, "Very well. And where do your travels take you?"
We
Sorry, was that a
I-
question?
Yes. Where do your travels take you?
He
Where are you
points in the direction that he's walking. Says, "Tomb."
Doom to the north.
Yeah, let's see. That tracks with what with a little info I just got. So yeah, that's he'll look to Rastavan and he'll say, "To the tomb, then."
Hold on. This sounds like a whole lot of trouble for... What are we getting out of this again? Potentially being killed with an insane guy and a fish lady? No offense.
Rakote will bow his head and I would like to, I don't know if this is like a stealth thing. I would like to kind of sidebar Rastavan real quick.
Yeah, you guys tell me.
The pale lady's starting to follow Crow, so if Crow doesn't stop, you guys can totally sidebar.
They're starting to walk away as you sidebar. The shot is you.
I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He has obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
Look, Rastavan. You have to do like the fucking sniff. What are you gonna do when you find him? I don't know. Shoot him in the head. Probably just blow my brains out. He's gonna sort of lean into Rastavan, and he's gonna say, "Fuck, man, this is big. This is bigger than I thought." He's going to say, "You and I have discussed our plans for after we leave this island. What happens here, it won't concern us once we leave the shores. I know that this is a lot for the two of us. But you are strong and skilled. I will keep you fed and strong. These two, they've already proven to be something legendary, not unlike yourself. And with the team of remarkable sailors, there is little we can't accomplish when we leave this place. Do you understand?"
My concern is that the path we're going to be taking with these two doesn't lead off this place. It leads into one of the thousands of tombs around us.
Rakote
It sounds
will
like a one-way trip, pal.
he'll say, are you unfamiliar then with the treasures hidden here on the Isle of Rats?
Can't say I've ever paid much mind to this place.
You see, there are secret caches built from pilfered graves here, a collection of gold and finery, the likes of which, well, imagine prying open the tomb of 100 men. What they managed to die with. The adage, the richest man in the graveyard, well, they've no use for it, but we will. I suspect that this tomb may have such fineries hidden away. We line our pockets. If the two of them get themselves killed, well, maybe that is the way that things are destined to work out, but again, I state, that man had a small militia attacking him last night, and with only the two of them, they managed to survive. I have confidence in them, even if they don't have it in me.
All right, fine. You can keep your riches, though. There's only 3 places in this world that I care about right now, and all of them are off this island.
And I have promised to take you there. That has not changed, Rastavan. I would have died this first night if not for you. You could have cut me loose. You could have burned me to dust. And you didn't. And I am not going to forget that, Rastavan.
All right, but I'm not sticking my neck out for either.
I wouldn't ask you to. And he'll start moving towards where they're walking to. As the shadow of 10,000 rats begins to crawl past his feet.
It's been 7 hours
No!
that you guys have been talking.
Oh no!
Oh!
Hours, dang.
Yeah, we hear the clang as the iron gate of Eidelstadt slams shut, and then 7 locks snap into place.
Raid! Comes a voice from high above. All right. I think that's a good break spot as you guys take after the other two.
All right.